don't think that the need is what's going to evolve. I think you can make a good argument that a certain level of tech understanding has always benefited a lawyer. I think what needs to change is understanding of the expectation of convenience. Sort of two relatable examples, a lawyer that won't work in Google Docs who insists on working in Word, or a lawyer that can't actually offer any data insights to their customers beyond what they spend. Our customers would sort of only find those things annoying. So they'd be annoying, but they wouldn't be a block to working together. I think in the not too distant future, that kind of behavior will be seen as just being such an inconvenient level of friction for customers that essentially it's just going to lead people to ignore you or work around you. And once you realize that that convenient workflow for your customer is almost always tech powered, so if you accept that more convenient workflow is the future state, then the need for technology skills is self-evident. So it's not necessarily that the need evolves, it's that the penny is going to drop with lawyers, that in order to deliver against the customer expectation of convenience, you're going to have to use technology. I think it's really important that you don't put yourself in a box. Technology and strategy and process design and all these kind of things are firmly in your scope. And the first step is to accept that responsibility to build your skills in those areas. You've got to think in the future and you've got to design towards your future state, like those are necessary. So break the boundaries of any box that you've been put in by your training. I think you've got to then mentally reposition yourself as somebody that benefits from tech rather than is confused by it. So it's asking the question, what's out there that can make my job easier and my clients happier? Step one, we've broken the boundaries of our box. Step two, we've accepted this is something that we are capable of doing with the right level of application. You've got to accept that you're not going to get it right first time. So if you try using a product for the first time and it doesn't work, of course, you'll make mistakes in terms of what you look for initially, but you'll gradually evolve your understanding of the need, you'll gradually evolve your understanding of what technology can do for you, and you'll grow. So accepting that as growth, that sort of painful process of transitioning from somebody that doesn't benefit from the technology now, to somebody that maximizes their benefit, it's going to involve a little bit of pain, but that's okay. Accepting that as part of the journey, I think, is really key. My golden piece of advice for implementing legal tech and encouraging adoption, it's a tricky one because in any implementation, the people come first. So if the people are finding out about a tool that you've procured after you've procured it, your chances of landing the implementation, this is, not statistically borne out, but I would say they're probably in the single digits. Again, I think this is the number one factor in the failure of legal tech implementations. It's not budget. It didn't do what we thought it was going to do. It's that nobody actually asked the people that were going to use it whether or not it solved the problem. And so when it came to implementation, those people received this technology as something that actually was going to likely increase their workload and inevitably didn't want to press on with it. So again, golden advice here is speak to the people first. So if you want people to adopt a piece of technology, consult them before you go ahead and procure it. Because any successful legal tech project is a change management project, right? You're going from point A, we're not able to do this thing, to point B, we're able to do this thing. And that transition between those two states is going to take time, and it's not just a matter of, okay, rational arguments, here's the tool, on you go. It's rational arguments and also emotional arguments. You see this with AI, right? One of the big, blockers to adoption of AI is, well, if the AI comes in and it does what I used to do as a lawyer, what do I do? And inevitably, that's a fair question to ask. You've got to be able to answer it. And of course, again, thinking about that idea of people first. If you don't surface that issue and create an environment where that issue can be surfaced at the very first stage of implementation, then of course you're going to see resistance down the line. The biggest opportunity that tech's bringing to in-house teams is really simple. Getting rid of dull work. For me, eliminating dull work is a major step on the route towards legal happiness. We want to work with, and I'm very happy to say that my colleagues in legal, our team, is full of intelligent and brilliantly creative people, and it makes me as a team leader very upset to see them doing work that is just all about effort and not about impact and not about growth. So if you're a leader of a team, then that should really upset you too. Our paralegal has never worked in a world where generative AI didn't exist. So she now has the benefit of that technology to eliminate thousands, like literally our generative AI chatbots answer a question for a travel perker every 5.5 minutes every day. So she exists in a world now where you don't have to do all that stuff. You don't have to just sit there and ask the same question 20 times. She also has the benefit of leveraging the entire history of our knowledge on demand. Now, if that's your reality now, that is so exciting in terms of, okay, what can you build on top of that? What can you do in terms of risk management? What can you do in terms of client engagement? What can you do to make Travel Perk not just a company that sticks around for 5 years, but sticks around for 100 years? Because we have the ability to leverage this data and go into places where as lawyers we've just never been able to tread.